The beat rolls on, ladies and gentlemen. We have more trades to discuss here today on NBA Trade Deadline Day. The first trade that I need to mention is the biggest trade of the three that I have written down, and that is Lou Williams is headed to Atlanta, his very own city. He actually has his own town in Georgia. Um, he can get lemon pepper wings every day if he chooses to now, because he's going to be an Atlanta Hawk, and the Clippers got their point guard, Rajon Rondo. Um, as a Laker fan, I'm devastated. Absolutely and utterly devastated for a plethora of reasons. One, I want the Clippers to stay bad. This makes them much better. They got the point guard, the facilitator that they needed, and he knows all of our stuff. Even though we've changed significantly, he knows us. He's from our team. It's a little payback for the Clippers for us taking Trez from them. It's just a cold war that continues forever between these two teams. But most importantly, on the basketball floor, this truly does help the Clippers tremendously. He's going to bring a cohesiveness and a basketball IQ that is obviously um, well documented, well heralded, a Hall of Fame caliber player, two-time NBA champion, to a team that needs exactly what it is that he does. So I'd imagine he's going to average upwards of 10 assists to end the season. If he starts and gets the minutes that he deserves, he makes them better defensively, he makes them better schematically, he makes them better and just overall makes other players better. Obviously, the players on this team are going to enjoy having him there. Rondo and Kawhi Leonard is interesting. Paul George is probably going to have a better tenure with the Clippers now that Rondo is present. Just leadership and basically another coach down there, somebody who's familiar with Ty Lue since they won a championship together in Boston. This is a situation where now you give Ty Lue a voice on the floor for the Los Angeles Clippers, a coach on the floor, someone an extension of himself, and essentially not only did they make their team better on the floor, but basically they've strengthened their coaching staff. So you gotta love what they did, and for the Hawks, Lou Williams is a guy obviously who's from Atlanta, as I said, who does have strong ties to the place, to the community there, and it's probably a dream come true for him to play for the Hawks, for his hometown team. He's going to be in a more traditional role for himself than Rondo found himself in Atlanta. Basically, going to be asked to do what it is that he does: score the ball. And what's really interesting, what's really going to be interesting to see, is him and Trae Young. Now, what the Hawks have just acquired is another player that has an uncanny ability to draw fouls from the point guard position. That's going to be an entirely intriguing thing to see in the Eastern Conference, because now the Hawks, I think, got a lot better. Their shooting got better. Their scoring got a lot better. But you just have this really, really unique dynamic of two players who at any given moment can draw a foul just from shooting the ball at a certain angle. Like, they are both geniuses at that. And there's only like maybe a few players in the league that have mastered that style. They have two of them. So I am extremely intrigued by Trae Young and Lou Williams playing on the same team. And just, I would tell everybody, prepare for a little bit of what we saw with the Houston Rockets last year, when James Harden would find himself at the line on every play, because that's exactly what those two players are great at: getting calls and making 4-point plays, 3-point plays, getting to the line, connecting on free throws. The Hawks just found somebody who can help them close as well. I think this is a trade that helps both teams. I like it for both teams. That's the first trade on the docket. And then we have a couple other smaller trades that probably don't require as much conversation, but we have a small trade here. Matt Thomas is headed to the Jazz. I'm not familiar with Matt Thomas, to be honest with you, but he's going to the Jazz for a second-round pick, headed back to Toronto. So Toronto is continuing to open up roster spots for themselves, possibly for this Kyle Lowry deal that may take place, or whatever they decide to do, because they've been wheeling all day, as we know. And then the Bulls also did something else. They received Mo Wagner and Troy Brown from the Wizards, for Tyler Hutchinson and Daniel Gafford. So I'm not entirely familiar with Hutchinson and Gafford. I know Hutchinson has been dealing with some injury issues. I know they're both bigs, if I'm not mistaken. So the Bulls just kind of moving on from some players and creating some roster spots for themselves to get a lot better and win now. And I like Mo Wagner. That's an old Laker guy. We know what he can do. Double threat, can stretch the floor a little bit. Feisty guy, big personality, big smile. He's definitely going to be a welcome addition to that Bulls front court, where they have something really unique going on with their European front court that they've just acquired. You got Mo Wagner, you got Vucevic, and you have, gosh, man, I hate when my head does this, but Lauri Markkanen. So when you have those three players in place, you have something intriguing. You have European players who can stretch the floor, who are big bodies. They can bang. All three of them are not afraid of contact necessarily, and you know that with that rotation, you're going to find consistency out of them. All three of them are really good players. So I like what the Bulls are doing. They've gotten significantly better. Troy Brown is a player that was on the back of the bench over in Washington, but was drafted high maybe about 4 years ago, something like that. I don't know enough about his game to speak any further than that, but I know he wasn't playing a whole lot. So now that he's with the Bulls, I think there may be some opportunities for him to play. So we'll see what comes of that. But as far as that trade is concerned, I like I said, I just think the Bulls have done a good job of putting forth a vision of what they want their team to be, and I don't think they're done. We'll see if the Lonzo Ball move actually gets done. But so yeah, that's what we got right now. The last I heard in regards to the Lakers with THT is basically they're not willing to trade him. Any deals that are going to take place are supposed to leave him out of it. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know if they'll be able to get Kyle Lowry without putting him in this deal. And I don't think the Lakers should stand pat and just wait for Drummond. I don't think we can afford to do that. We should do something. As of right now, the framework for that deal was KCP, Dennis Schroeder, and Wesley Matthews is what we're offering. Not surprised that no deal has been done with Wesley Matthews as a part of that trade. I'm pretty certain that Masai Ujiri, who's known for doing great trades and lopsided trades going his way, is definitely not going to be taking back Wesley Matthews in any trade involving who many believe is the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyle Lowry not get traded at this point. We got about 15 minutes before the deadline. I'm not in love with any of the packages that are offered out there. They don't have to trade Kyle Lowry. He doesn't necessarily want to leave. So it's like, if somebody doesn't blow them away, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get done. But yeah, we've seen a whole lot today thus far, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see more trades coming in over the next 25 minutes as the deadline passes. And then, of course, usually you see more trades trickle in after about 25 minutes after that. So, yeah, man, it's been active, baby. Teams are getting better, but I do see some teams standing pat. It seems like they're not moving. I think it's a mistake. So I hope we're not done here. My name is BDF44. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.